Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showcasing how I use Brian Ortega against a high level opponent, and the reason I'm probably going to title this just as a regular Brian Ortega video and not a showcase is just due to the fact that I'm only going to be showing one gameplay clip here, but it is against an extremely high level opponent who I think before this fight had beaten me 5 times and I've beaten him once, so definitely had the advantage on me, an extremely good player. So I just wanted to showcase how I approach this fight against someone who's clearly got the better of me majority of the times we've played against each other. But yeah, the reason I haven't made this into a showcase as requested is just purely due to the fact that a lot of the gameplay footage I had with Brian Ortega was a lot of rage quits during submissions. And yeah, although it is me finishing the fight and someone quitting, I didn't really want to look to upload that. So I am going to be working on a jiu-jitsu video using a wide range of fighters, and Brian Ortega will be in that video. So if you was a subscriber that was waiting for that video, don't worry, there will be a video in which I use Brian Ortega and I'm getting submissions and hopefully a lot of other jiu-jitsu based fighters. But getting into the gameplay itself, you can see this a 5-round fight. I am in division 20, so is my opponent, and he is going to be using Conor McGregor, who of course, as everyone knows, is extremely powerful, extremely good on the feet, but Conor off his back is going to be not as threatening. It's exactly where you want him, especially when you're using someone like Brian Ortega, who has got phenomenal submissions. And the one mistake I do see when coming up against Brian Ortega players is how hesitant they are to stand on the feet and trade with Brian Ortega. Ortega does have very good stats when it comes to standing. He's got decent leg kicks, decent boxing, good elbows, he's got the knees, and if you tie up in a clinch, he's got the clinch submissions, he's got good trips, he's got good takedowns. So I do not think that you should be forced to shoot a takedown. I would understand that in this matchup here, when it's less favourable to be on the feet, you're of course going to want to look to go on the ground. However, I do feel like you can really utilise his boxing and kicking arsenal to employ a good game plan when it's on the feet. So the way I like to use Ortega is I will stand with him, but everything I'm throwing is to just slowly build up damage and then either look to get a big shot off or look to take the fight to the ground. And my takedowns will come off of either my opponent throwing a roundhouse to the body that doesn't work, my opponent being too close and I just shoot for a regular takedown, or myself setting up takedowns. And that's one thing that I will make a video on this because it has been requested in the comments. And whenever you're struggling to get in a takedown with Brian Ortega, you can always just take your opponent to the fence and look to get a takedown that way, or you can simply just pull guards, get into rubber guard and then reverse the position. And as you can see here, that's exactly what I do. So I think in this situation it was McGregor that ended up taking me down, and then get into rubber guard, deny the transition and reverse McGregor, and now back on top with not long left to go, but the control time's still there. And that's the important thing, is that slowly whittling away McGregor's stamina, head health, and building on my opponent's transition, so learning where my opponent is going to transition. So yeah, if you ever can't get a takedown with Brian Ortega, you can always just pull guard in the clinch, and off of that you can easily rotate the position. That's the one great thing about using Ortega, is that you really have the ability to just pull guard, let your opponent be on top of you. In this case it's McGregor. I can let McGregor be on top of me and then easily reverse the position, get into rubber guard, deny a couple transitions, flip the switch completely and end up being on top. But Ortega's just as dangerous from the bottom, so he really is fantastic to use if you're a jiu-jitsu lover, because he's got a wide range of submissions. And in this division there are some obviously good grapplers, but when it comes to the submission side of things, Brian Ortega definitely has a distinctive advantage amongst his peers in the featherweight division. You can see that early on in this round I took McGregor down again, and I'm just going to look to build up some control time. And you can see that I'm not just constantly waiting in one spot, I am going to be rotating position, I'm going to be trying to advance. And that's very important, because the referee will stand you up if you're just looking to stand there and not initiate any damage or try to get into a more advantageous position. You can see that end up going around to the back here, throw a couple strikes, and this is how I knew that, I knew this guy was high level already, just purely because of the fact that he's beaten me 5 times and I've only won 1 of these fights. But it's how calm he manages to stay when he is on the ground, and you know, little situations like that where most people would panic, he waited to get the stamina advantage and then easily rolled out. On the feet, you can see that there of course is going to be an advantage when it comes to McGregor in terms of speed and power. However, in landing the more significant strikes, you can see that I'm mixing up the teep kicks and going for leg kicks, catch the kick here, take to the cage, and then that's another easy takedown. So I always look to center my stand up around getting the fight onto the ground. I'm never solely focused on standing up with Brian Ortega, because that's when you will get into danger if you're particularly just focusing on the stand up. He does have that ability to stand with the vast majority of fighters at featherweight. He's got a very good chin, and just like in real life, Brian Ortega likes to go to war. However, you should always take the more I'd say you should take the more smarter approach in looking to chain in takedowns, but just don't make them too obvious, because a lot of Brian Ortega players will either only constantly look to get takedowns and clinch submissions, or not be comfortable at all on the stand-up. So yeah, if they're not comfortable at all on the stand-up, they're just going to constantly spam takedowns, and that's why a lot of the Ortega players end up losing, just because they gas themselves out, or once they do get onto the ground, they have no stamina, and it's not going to be beneficial for them. So you can see here in my approach to using Brian Ortega, I'm trying to keep my stamina as high as possible. I'm using my stand-up to chain takedowns, and I'm remaining calm on the feet. And I'm just seeing how the fight goes. I don't really want to engage in a war, I'd say, with Conor McGregor, just because the power advantage is going to be absolutely crazy. Conor, he's got freakishly good hands, and he's got very good head health as well. So I'm going to try to tax the body a little, but like I said, predominantly take the fight to the ground. You can see here that it's the 3rd round, and my stamina is in an unbelievable position for the 3rd round here. It's pretty much, I don't even know, 98% full, which stamina management is an absolutely crucial part of winning 5-round fights. If your stamina management is good, and you can outlast your opponent in terms of stamina, you're more likely to win the fight. Because as I've said in prior videos, with stamina management, if you have higher stamina, you can go for longer combinations, you can do more damage, and once your opponent is hurt, you can look to just really spring off those strikes or get that takedown. And yeah, it's just very, very crucial. So with Brian Ortega, especially someone that I want to get the fight to the ground with, it's important to have good stamina management. It makes it a little bit easier for me to get these submission finishes, and you know, with my opponent having less stamina, I'm gonna lock in that submission a lot easier. So that's the main thought process behind it. You can see that got the knockdown there on McGregor. He's trying to get this head kick off just to try, you know, claw back the round or try to do some form of damage in order to knock me down or hurt me. But you can see I'm going to stay really, really patient, really calm. Beautiful switch kick to the body, and I'm just wearing away at the gas tank. Go for a takedown there, and I actually cancelled it just purely because I knew that I wouldn't have ended up getting it. Throwing in the leg kicks, staying away from that roundhouse to the body, and you can see the movement here is really, really playing a big part as well. So when you utilise all of Brian Ortega's tools, he's a very, very good fighter. If you use the stand-up correctly and incorporate the ground game, he can definitely be one of the best fighters to use in this division. And I had a lot of fun making this video. You can see movement there to get out of the position. My McGregor went for the uppercut there, expecting me to go to the body. Ends up getting the head kick there, but there's just not enough power on it, just due to him not having much stamina. And right now I'm playing my cards correctly. You can see that I'm not overzealous. I'm not really forcing the finish here, just remaining comfortable and calm. No stamina from Conor. Beautiful switch kick to the body, get the drop here, jump on top, and I believe that's where we get the finish. So there wasn't a submission finish here, but I just wanted to showcase how I use Brian Ortega in order to beat these higher level players. Just want to say a huge thank you for all the support, and shout out to everyone that's subscribing, liking the videos and liking the streams. I'll try to get around to recording more videos. I've just been really busy recently, but yeah, thank you for all the support. It's really appreciated. There will be another Brian Ortega video in the future, me getting submissions with him in the jiu-jitsu video, so look forward to that. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and if you're new, subscribe for more UFC 4 content. I'll see you next time.